After leaving Jehovah's Witnesses, why didn't I just stay a Christian? Why didn't I go to a mainstream religion instead of becoming a pagan? Well, here are a few reasons. Quick disclaimer, I'm not here to convert anyone or to persuade anyone of anything. I am deeply respectful of people's beliefs and faith, and I do expect the same back. So, to those who feel that they need to quote Bible scriptures at me or talk about God or Jesus, please don't, because it is very disrespectful. And I have my right to choose what I believe in and what I practice, just like you have your rights. However, I know that there will still be people who will try and tell me how to live my life. So this video is for those who are interested in the process of deconstruction and perhaps looking into other alternative approaches to Christianity. So one of the reasons I chose not to stay in Christianity is because I simply stopped believing that the Bible is inspired by God or any other like being. I don't agree the Bible is a book from God. I don't believe in God. I certainly don't believe in the biblical God. And that is my right to do so. And also, having done research, don't take it the wrong way, but that is not my ancestry. Bible is based on Jewish history, Jewish mythology. I'm Latvian. I'm from Latvia. We have different gods and goddesses and different traditions. And the only reason Latvia is a so-called Christian country is because in the 1200s, German crusaders came and invaded and took over and forced the tribes living there to adopt Christianity. And thankfully, they still kept their own gods and goddesses going on the side, their own traditions. So, yeah, that's one of the main reasons I returned back to paganism, because that is my inheritance, my birthright. I do find mainstream religions to be somewhat bullish, especially Christianity. There seems to be a lot of forcing of ideology, and if people don't want to accept it, they take the path of violence. So I'm not going to say any more than that. So when I was leaving Jehovah's Witnesses and just having left, I did explore things like Buddhism. I do like a lot of their concepts about acceptance, about, the things that, the respect for nature and other like peaceful teachings that they have. And I find that Buddhism is more what Christianity should have been. The Christianity is good at preaching one thing, but then doing something else. Whereas I find with Buddhism, they're actually more Christ-like, so to speak, than the actual Christians. But it still didn't quite align with what felt right for me. And then I've got some notes here. Then I looked into New Age spirituality, but I find it a little bit too bypassing. It's too much love and light, and they're not dealing with trauma. And I did find that there's, again, too many rules, too many opinions, people falling out. And it's just like, I like some of the things, but it just doesn't resonate for me. It's too fluffy. So you're going from Christianity that is like a big bully in a playground, New Age, all fluffy, don't have a negative thought, which is, again, just not conducive for trauma survivors. Buddhism, again, not quite my cup of tea, but we're getting close there. So because I am Latvian, and genetically I'm half Baltic, half Slavic, and I grew up with Latvian and Russian cultures and traditions because I was born and raised during Soviet Union and then post-Soviet Union Latvia. I've always had Russian friends and neighbours, and obviously Latvian. And I love the fact that the original Latvian culture and beliefs which are also obviously pretty much the same as the Lithuanian ones because it's kind of all related. But it's very much about honouring the earth, the planet, and being one with nature. So whilst I don't particularly go out and worship particularly Latvian gods, I don't have an altar set up, I do incorporate the archetypes and the traditions and the meanings behind them, and I do find there's a lot of similarities across cultures, specifically like Norse paganism and the Baltic paganism and even the Russian, the Slavic paganism. They all have very similar undercurrents, and it's, for me, honouring the nature, honouring the cycles. I love the summer solstice, the winter solstice celebrations, the symbols, the customs, and the runes. It's all part of it. Main thing is for me to honour my ancestors. So Baltic paganism is my birthright, and so is actually Slavic, because like I said, my mother was adopted, and genetically she is completely Slavic, even though she was adopted by a Latvian lady. And from my father's side, he's all Latvian apart, like sprinkled with some Polish. So I can claim both, and I am claiming both. This is my me honouring my ancestors, showing respect. But it's not a fixed identity. I don't have strict rules. I join what I like and I leave what I don't like. And then it's probably because a life after rules, especially in a high control religious environment, doesn't have to be Jehovah's Witnesses, could have been any. I can't be doing with being boxed in or being told what is right and what is wrong. And also my view on darkness is very different from like faith-based narratives. So for me, dark and light, it's not like good and bad, it's all frequency, it's energy. And I actually feel that from a quantum perspective, that because everything is energy, the perceived darkness is actually trauma, and then the light is the healing. So literally nothing is good or bad. It's just the frequency. So it's like hot and cold is still the same thing. It's a temperature, but it's duality, because this 3D world is a world of duality. So you have to accept that dark and light will exist together, like yin and yang. There is no separating it. And for me, true spirituality is accepting that duality. It's accepting that we are part of the universe, the 3D world, and obviously the spiritual world. And it's about becoming one with that universe. So I refer to it as source or energy or just universe. Obviously, other people like to narrow it down to things like God or goddesses. But I feel like, again, to me, that's too restrictive. I just like to feel that my private relationship with the universe is free. For me, freedom is one of the most important things, which is why I could never become part of any kind of religion, any kind of group that's boxing me in, whether that's New Age, whether that's Buddhism, whether that's Christianity, whether it's even paganism. I have to stay independent outside of it all and have my own relationship with what I consider to be God or goddess or the sacred, the energy of it all. And I'm not here to preach. I just simply wanted to share that spirituality for me now is a relationship with everything around me and not a set of rules. So if that resonates with you, you can leave a comment and, share what you have found helpful after leaving a high control religious group. Okay, and I'll speak to you soon.